guys, welcome back to my channel for some more Demon Slayer episode recap and reviews. This is Merrily Deeds. As always, my videos will contain spoilers, so you guys have been warned. Last week's episode, Swordsman accompanying a demon left us off on a cliffhanger. So in this week's episode, we start off where Naziko was angry and she had popped out her veins and she was heading towards these demons, and Tanjiro's just like, no, wait, come back to me. So Naziko understands, and as she's running back to Tanjiro, they try to ambush him and she actually jumps over them. And Vanjiro's shocked when he sees this, but he also remembers that Naziko is now a demon and she doesn't need as much protection as he thinks she does. She is capable of taking care of herself so far. So he has this choice between, do I stay here and protect all of them, or do I go down in the hole? So he decides to trust Naziko's abilities and her strength to take care of Kazumi and fight this one single demon that is on the surface, while Tanjiro is going to go underground to take care of the other two. When he enters this hole, it's literally like a swamp with murky water all over them. There is pieces of clothing from people they have abducted, and these demons think that they have an advantage over him, assuming that he can't breathe, not knowing that our boy Tanjiro has been training on Mount Sagiri for 2 freaking years. So the air on that mountain is way more thinner, and Tanjiro also has moves that only unleash their full potential underwater. So don't think you got him this easy. Joke's on you. As they start to try to attack Tanjiro, circling around him like sharks, making him want to panic, Tanjiro's just like, where do you think that I exactly get my training? And he actually unleashes his 6th form, which looks freaking beast. I am loving these forms, guys, by the way. They are amazing. I just love how they're incorporated with the swordsmanship. Anyways, and he is able to defeat both of them at the same time, which was super crazy cool. I love that. And then he sees that there is a piece of clothing just floating, and he makes sure to grab that as he heads to the surface to check on Naziko and the rest. So we head back to the surface where Naziko is right now battling the last self of that demon. She's really fast. He is shocked because Naziko is hitting him, and there's a part where she punches the living heck out of him and he just spits out a bunch of blood, and he's thinking, this girl is really strong. Even though she hasn't mastered her morphing abilities, she's strong, she's fast, and she's powerful, so she must have gotten a lot of blood from him. I wonder who him is. He is starting to catch up to Naziko's movements, so he's starting to kind of know how to block them and slowly reading her attacks coming in order. So he does scratch her, and right as he is about to land a hit on her, Tanjiro comes out, and this was just epic because he's like, hands off my sister, and cuts off both of his arms, blood dripping, pouring out when he cuts both of them. And now this demon is like, wow, both of my other selves were taken out by this guy. Can't believe this. So he knows he's pretty much cornered. And he says something really grime. He actually says that the humans should be thanking him for eating these young girls, because when women age, they taste horrible and they're ugly. And it was just really grime to say that. And Tanjiro obviously gets angry by this, and he cuts his tongue off, and you just see, like, again, super gory fight, just blood splattering all over the floor. Tanjiro then proceeds to ask this demon, I think the most important question of this whole episode. He says, you're gonna tell me everything you know about Muzan Kibutsuji. Earlier the demon was saying, you should be thanking me, kind of cocky, and he switches like this into fear, trembling, shaking. He says he can't tell Tanjiro anything about Muzan, and then we see this flashback of this demon's memory of Muzan. So we see him in his human form, and he's being picked up by Muzan, who's choking him, and he just tells him he can't say anything because he's always watching. And he looks really like powerfully menacing, like he has power over them enough to make them like shake down all their way to their bones. And Tanjiro also acknowledges that he smells fear coming out of this demon. A fear? Really? Fear coming out from a man-eating demon? Wow, Muzan must be the real deal. The demon denies again over and over, I cannot tell you anything, I cannot tell you anything. He goes for one last attack, regenerating his arms, trying to attack sweet Tanjiro, and Tanjiro just cuts off his head. He is sad because he's not able to get any information, and he's sad that he let Nezuko get hurt as well. But Nezuko is now in sleep mode again because she is recovering from that wound that this demon gave her. And Kazumi is just destroyed at this point. He is crying. He lost his fiance, and Tanjiro walks over to him and he tells him like, how are you doing? And he's just destroyed. Like I said, he's sad. He lost the person he loved. And Tanjiro tells him that what he's about to tell him is going to be hard, but no matter how many people you lose, you have no option but to move forward. And it may seem cruel and like hard to do, but you have to do it. And this guy freaks out on Tanjiro and grabs him, and he's just like, how would you know? You're just a kid. And Tanjiro just gives him the saddest look ever and just calms him down and hands him that piece of clothing. And in that piece of clothing, it was the hairpin collection that these demons actually carried from their victims that they have devoured. And he tells Kazumi that he hopes he can find something from Satoko there as he heads out with Nezuko on his back. And when Kazumi opens the piece of clothing, we see the bow that belonged to Satoko, and he just starts to cry. But then he realizes that Tanjiro has a tragedy of his own, and he apologizes. As Tanjiro heads out and he waves goodbye to him, what Kazumi says about Tanjiro's hands really touched my heart. He says that his hands were heartbreaking to see because they have been hardened by all that extreme training, and they don't resemble a boy's hands. It was just sad to hear because yes, this anime series is a lot of adventure and action, but there's also so much sadness and tragedy behind this. As Tanjiro heads out, he is angered. He's angry that Muzan, who it was the first demon, he basically started this chain of pain, and Tanjiro's like, I'll never forgive you. How many people have you hurt? As he's thinking this, he is heading out. One of the crows appears and tells Tanjiro he has to head out to Asakusa, Tokyo, because there is rumors of a demon lurking there. And Tanjiro's just like, man, I just finished my first mission, like, can I get a break? And the crow's just like, no, go, shut up, go, on your way you go. And when Tanjiro arrives to Asakusa, Tokyo, he is dazzled by the city because he is a country boy and he has this little funny face on. I love the animation that they used for his face shot in this one scene, and it's just so funny because he's just like, oh my god, like there's so many lights everywhere, it's crowded, and he just has Naziko by his hand, and he's just like, all right, let's go over here, let's go through here. And he walks into this couple making out, and he's just like, I'm sorry. So he ends up leaving like the main part of the city and just going to like a little part where it's more chiller to get some udon to eat. And as he is finally able to get this little plate of udon and about to eat it, and it looks so delicious, he catches a scent, guys. A scent that I had no idea was going to be present in this episode and was so shocked, but it is the scent that was left at his house. So out of all the places, Tanjiro is about to meet who was responsible for killing his family, because it is the same exact scent. And Tanjiro gets up, he drops the plate, breaks it, and heads out to the scent, shocked that out of all places it would be here. And as he's reaching it, he's like, is this the guy giving off the scent? And when he grabs the shoulder and turns him around, the guy looked just like Michael Jackson. But it is Muzan. Oh my god, dude. Tanjiro just met Muzan, and he has these eyes that are just plain terrifying. And as Tanjiro's about to draw his sword, this guy is holding a child, a little girl, and he's confused. He's like, wait, the little girl's a human. And then this guy's wife arrives. So this sneaky rat is pretending to be a human, and Tanjiro's just so shocked and sick to his stomach, and I would be too, because he is a fake. He is pretending something he's not, when in reality he's a monster. And he has this sneaky little grin like, yeah, this is me, like what are you gonna do? It seems like Tanjiro is the only one to recognize that this guy is actually a demon. And he does some crazy stuff with his eyes. So when he's looking at Tanjiro, he has these demon eyes, like these pupils. But when he's like looking at his family, he has like these normal human eyes. And I was just like, wow, this guy must be very powerful. But then what happened next totally blew me away. So he takes out his nails, or he has like some sharp nails. I'm not gonna lie though, his nails are off fleek. And as this guy is walking down the street with his wife, he just scratches him like nothing, like fast. And it seems like Vanjiro is the only one to notice that this guy just scratched this young man walking down the street. And with that little scratch, those few little scratches that he gave him on his neck, this guy instantly turns into a demon and attacks his wife and bites her on the shoulder. And so obviously Tanjiro's just shocked because this guy just created a distraction. And we are left off again on another cliffhanger. Guys, I am so shocked that Tanjiro has been put on the Big Bad's radar this fast. This episode was just explosive. We got closure to the swamp demon and closure to Kazumi's tragedy. He lost his fiance, but Tanjiro was able to restore peace to that town. And now we're heading out to another mission, but that demon that seems to be lurking there is the main Big Bad, and he seems already really powerful. Just to inflict that much fear of just mentioning his name with his subordinates, and just him, you know, changing his eyes and just scratching that guy and instantly turning him into a demon. This guy is the real deal. Jesus. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but I just hope they're able to just finish him off. So there are a couple points that I did want to speak about and point out. One thing that I really liked about this episode was how we got that demonstration of how strong Tanjiro and Naziko's duo can be. So we saw them both each having their own little battle. Tanjiro taking care of the demons underground and Nezuko taking care of the demon upper ground. So it was just really cool to see how they work together as a team. I really enjoyed that. Not only that, but it does reinforce again how strong their bond is as brother and sister. In last week's episode, Nezuko kicked through her box to save Tanjiro, and in this week's episode, Tanjiro came to the rescue, cutting off the demon's arms before he can harm Nezuko. So I really enjoyed that about this episode. I think it's great, and I can't wait for future battles where Nezuko and Tanjiro are working together as a team. Another point that I liked about this episode was how Kazumi kind of flipped out on Tanjiro, but then the way he spoke about Tanjiro's hands, I thought that was just really sweet and special, because it just reminds you that yes, Tanjiro is a young boy, but he's been through a tragic experience, and his experience has made him strong enough to actually become a demon slayer, to try to change his sister back into a human. But not only that, now he's helping out other people who have gone through that same pain, and he just wants to end this chain of pain. Another point that I liked was Muzan. Overall, Muzan looks really cool. He looks like the king of pop. How much cooler can that be? But not only that, but he just seems like he's the real deal. He seems like he's just super powerful. Like I had mentioned earlier, he does, just the mention of his name creates fear among his subordinates. Him being able to change his pupils like that is just crazily insane, and him being able to turn a human into a demon with barely even scratching them. And now I'm just wondering, if this guy was in this part of Tokyo, like what was he doing out there where like Tanjiro and Nezuko live? Because obviously their house is way off the grid, and now it's been like, you know, backed up that, you know, maybe this guy targeted Tanjiro's family for a specific reason. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you guys want to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. And if you guys want to comment, please comment down below. I am always open for any discussions. What did you guys think about this series so far? What do you think about this episode? Thank you again once more for watching. This is Merrily Deets out.